By the light of the sun, by the depth of the moon, by the flame of the wand, and by the pentacle of earth, I call upon the guides of wisdom, the ancestors of the craft, and the holy guardian angel. Guide us now through the stations of the dove and the serpent. Reveal what is hidden, that we may transform it into light. Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Today we walk the path of the dove and serpent spread, an 11-fold journey of transformation. Each position reveals a unique aspect of your journey, alternating between the essence of your being and the events that shape your destiny. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment. Consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, Aquarius, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And we start with the Nine of Swords. Ouch, right? Don't freak out. This can be good. This is the first position. It is our station, and it reveals our sort of current mood, right? The general vibe in our life right now. This is kind of what we feel when we kind of close our eyes. This is not happiness, right? Happiness is the Nine of Cups. This is the opposite of that. So this is unhappiness, okay? And I feel that right now we're very aware of where in our life we are unhappy. And the Nine of Swords is reflecting our kind of core energy right now, our emotional tone, right? So is this card driving you to improve your life? Is this card driving us to the future? Is this motivating us to say, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't want to be in this sort of miserable state, you know? I want to get better. I want to improve. I want to do more. I want to get happy. I don't want to linger in this. It doesn't look like a very comfortable place, right? So sometimes this sort of this anxiety or this misery can motivate us to do something positive, right? And so we're not trying to pretend that everything's okay. You're not somebody that's going to just be like, oh, I'm fine, I'm happy, oh, yeah. No, you're saying, I'm not happy. Someone asks you how you're doing, you say, oh, let me tell you, right? Because we're not going to gloss over it. We're not going to ignore this. I could have had this card come out and I could have just stopped the tape and just said, nope, I'm not going to read this one, not as the first card. Imagine a lot of you stopped watching, right? But I think that if we're aware of this in our lives and say, yeah, okay, there are things, certain aspects of life that I don't feel happy about. It's telling me what I need to do. It's kind of showing me what to look at, you know? I'm happy for those days. I'm grateful for those days where I kind of wake up and I feel this way, because then it says, okay, it gives me something to work on. It shows me something that I can do, some way that I can improve. If I need to find new goals, I need to go have a new experience. There's something that I should be doing, something I should be working on, right? The thing is, we don't want to let this card or this energy completely shape our experience of the world. If we feel miserable, then everything's miserable, everybody is miserable, and nothing ever gets better, right? Let's use this as a motivating energy to say, what do I need to do in my life right now? Okay, so let's put this card into a little bit of context. Context is everything after all. There we have the Death card, transformation, evolution. That is change, right? The fundamental force of the universe. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Knight of Pentacles. We have a Ten of Wands. Oh, and a Ten of Cups. Look at that, Ten of Cups. Come on. It's perfect. So we're using that. We're using the pain of separation, right? This is Mars in Gemini. This is something that we feel that we're separated from our good life, from our best life, separated from our dreams, separated from ourself, separated from our true love, whatever it is. Right? We don't feel as if everything is put together like it is here. So something is out of sorts. We are, it's the pain of division, being divided from our true self or our best life, etc. And we're using that state as a motivating force. so that we can get happy, we can get satisfied, we can get contented with life, we can get the bliss. Okay. Here we have a Prince of Wands, we have the Lover's card, we have an Eight of Swords, yeah, makes sense, and we have the Hermit. And the Hermit, I think, is really the best thing here, because instead of lingering down in this energy, the Hermit is up, moving. The Hermit is walking. The Hermit is traveling. The Hermit is on a mission. The Hermit is on a quest, right, to build a better life. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is the Factor, Infinite, and Unknown. We're going to set it down over here with Mr. Ed, our little horse. And, of course, we're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together. It will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any point during this message you feel like you might know what that card could be, put your prediction in the comments down below. Now, let's look around the room. We see 1, 2, 3 major arcana energies. Okay? We see the Death card, which is transforming, transformation, evolution, change. We don't like the pain of separation. Let's change it. Let's get unity. We've got to go out. We've got to be willing to get up and go and follow our heart, follow our bliss, follow our intuition, and find the unity. See, this is Mars in Gemini. The Lover's card is Gemini. This is about separation. This is about union. So whatever we feel that we are separated from, we're going to have that union or reunion. Okay. We've got fire. We've got water. Oh, we got a couple of fire cards, right? We have our water. We have a couple of air cards. And we have a couple of earth cards. Okay. Let's start with the Death card. Position 2, the battlefield. Reveals our personal task or quest, the field of our conflict right now. This is something that is testing your strength. And this is a card that's saying, if we don't like where we are, let's change it. Let's do something. Let's get fired up. Let's get motivated, right? This is a slow and steady path forward. And it's kind of like saying, if we want something different, we have to be willing to get up and move our feet, right? That's what the Hermit's doing, going off trail. If I stay on the same trail I'm on, I'm going to keep getting the same thing I've always been getting. This is going to be the thing. I already know it feels this way. If I keep doing what I've been doing, it's going to keep feeling this way. So the Hermit's going off trail. If we keep doing what we've always done, we'll keep getting what we've always got. We'll keep feeling the way we've always felt. The Hermit's going off trail. Okay? And the Death card is the realization that we have to let go of the past. We have to move into the future. And we have to reclaim our energy, reclaim our power, reclaim the fire energy, okay? And also reminding us that change does not happen overnight like that. It comes slowly, gradually, over time. We can't expect to go from a 9 of Swords to a 9 of Cups in the span of a 30-minute tarot reading. Okay? It takes time to build up those things. It's a slow and steady change over the course of time. The current 9 of Swords took a long time to develop. Getting out of that and getting to the 9 of Cups, or in this case, getting closer to your 10 of Cups, is going to also take time. Okay? And that's where we have to be willing to put in this work. This is where we have to fight, we have to grow, we have to transform. This is the card of change. The only way things change is if we change them, okay? Things aren't going to stay the same now, right? So between these two cards, it really is obvious, right? We're being called upon for a revolution, the courage to change our lives, the courage to acknowledge where we are right now, what isn't working, what isn't satisfied, what isn't making us happy. In fact, what's making us unhappy, and to do something about that. Okay? And of course, we know that there is also bondage here, because we know that if we don't do anything differently, if we don't make choices to to step out of this and find something else, some other way, some other path, then this is where we're going to end up. This is where we're going to stay, just right here. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Okay. Now, down beneath the surface, we've got our soul position. Your unconscious drives, your private self, the feelings, memories, emotions that are down beneath the surface. It's a Four of Pentacles. Sort of a hidden attitude, hidden desires, some feelings that we have, right? And this is a card of safety, security, stability. We may not like our Nine of Swords life, but it's familiar and I'm already here. It's much easier to stay the same. And maybe our whole life is not a Nine of Swords, but when we go to bed at night, we close our eyes, it's kind of the Nine of Swords that we worry about. The things that we're not happy about, we're not pleased with, the things that aren't going so well. And maybe there's this feeling like if I work toward changing the bad things, what if I lose some of the good things? What if I should just be content with my life as it is because it's stable? Maybe this is about the job. It's like it's not a job that's fulfilling. It's not satisfying. It's maybe it's worse than that, right? But at the same time, it's a job. Yeah. So the Four is the allure. It's the promise. It's the stability that we need in life, and it's kind of like this is what we want. We want stability. We want security. And sometimes this is that unconscious need that is like it's holding us back. Okay? And so even if things are not spectacular, even if things are downright kind of painful and difficult, as human beings, I think most of us tend to stay where we are. There's something, a body at rest stays at rest kind of thing. There's this inertia that grabs a hold of us, and it's saying, well, it may not be all that great, but at least it's familiar. Whereas if I go out and I do the hermit energy and I go off trail, I don't know what the heck is out there. I lose my sense of certainty. I lose my sense of security, taking a risk for what, maybe I'll get a better life, but there's no guarantee. So we can play it safe and stay home and just be content with our misery, or we can take a risk. We can go outside and go on a new direction, a new path, a new trail, forge our own trail, and maybe get a life that is a lot more meaningful, a lot more rewarding, a lot more fulfilling, a lot more delightful, right? We can get our 10 of Cups. So down beneath the surface is kind of shows that what we really are wanting, what we really desire is security, safety, acceptance, right? And maybe that Nine of Swords is also trying to let us know that where we are right now, we don't feel safe, secure, stable. Maybe you're in a situation that you don't feel as if you're being all that readily accepted for who you are. Maybe you don't feel like your relationship or your job or your family or your home situation or whatever it is. Maybe you don't feel like it's all that reliable. Maybe you don't feel that it really is that secure. See, the Four kind of tricks us. It looks like we're protected in this really wonderful like castle, right? But all of the Fours are about impermanence. This may feel like safety and familiarity and comfort and stability, but it's not. Okay, it's not. But I think that what your soul is telling you from deep within you is that you want something stable. You want something that is, it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be a perfect 10 kind of amazing life or job or relationship, but you want it to be reliable, you want it to be steady, you want it to be comfortable and safe, you want to feel as if you're accepted for who you are. Okay? And we want that kind of security in our lives, right? And I think with the Nine of Swords, perhaps that's part of our worry or part of our fear is that, we don't have that. Yeah. Again, with that Mars and Gemini, maybe we feel like at any moment someone can pull the rug out from under us. At any moment, something can be torn apart. So I don't feel all that. Maybe it's like you got this job, and maybe it's a job that pays well, but gosh, it's really volatile. Any moment now, I can be out the door. I don't like that. It's scary. It's hard to go to bed at night thinking, am I going to have a job when I wake up in the morning? Maybe we're looking for something that's more stable and more secure, even if it, I don't know, if it pays less or whatever, has other compromises, maybe, you know. Let's look at the next card. And this is position 4. It's the dwarf. And it's a Knight of Pentacles. Okay. The Knight of Pentacles is ready to begin something. Okay. In this position, it's something in the past. It's something that's kind of, it's the inertia. It's something that's dragging us down and maybe keeping us in this sort of frozen state, it's preventing us from changing. Because this is a card that has not yet moved, is looking at the future. Maybe he's looking at this mountain and thinking, I could get a really good life. Like I know my destiny is up there somewhere on that mountain, but something's holding me back. I haven't yet started to climb the mountain yet. We've been sitting here for so long that our horse just got bored and said, I guess I'm just going to eat. So we're not moving yet. Okay? And maybe we're just not sure if it's worth the risk. You know? Maybe we're not sure that that we're prepared or that we're capable of doing anything more than what we've been doing. Maybe we don't feel like we deserve or that we're likely to get anything better than what we've got. Okay? Again, this card's about seeing the future. And right now, it might be that we don't really see the details of it. I know what kind of future I want. I know how I want it to feel. I know I want my future to feel like a 10 of Cups. But I don't yet see what that would look like technically. Like, what are the details? What's the color of the wallpaper? What kind of carpet do you got? Okay. The Knights of the Tarot are always looking at the future. The Knights are always either jumping into a new path, jumping into something, or are about to, or considering the beginning. It's kind of like a card that's saying, like, something's beginning. But the Knight of Pentacles is not yet beginning, not yet moving, right? The Knight of Wands, in contrast, the Knight of Wands is leaping into something. I'm not even thinking about it. There's no time for debate. I'm just leaping right in, trusting the whole thing. This is somebody that's saying, well, I need certain supplies. I've got to get things prepared. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know really what it's going to look like. And maybe because we can't see the ultimate goal. You see, look at that card. You can't see the top of the mountain, can you? You can see the base of the mountain. You can see most of the sides, but you can't see the top. You can't see the summit. So this card may be hesitating because I can't really see the end result yet. And so therefore, I'm not ready to begin. Okay, all the Knights are talking about certain types of people and how we begin things. Okay. And maybe this was a path that you had considered beginning a long time ago. Maybe you never did. And maybe that's kind of what we're going to do with this Hermit energy, is we're saying, you know what? By denying myself this, what I know to be my journey, my best life is somewhere at the top of that mountain. By not doing that, I'm keeping myself separated from that best life, and therefore I feel a 9 of Swords. So maybe this is really about understanding what this is and saying, let's just do it. Let's climb that mountain now. The longer we linger, the more difficult it will be for us to finally get moving. Okay? So, this was almost like you put something on hold, almost like we were going to go pursue our dream life, and then we just kind of said, well, maybe tomorrow. There's too many variables, too many unknowns, and not quite ready to do that, So this card is something that's holding you back, like I said, and shaping your current situation. because this was something that never launched. Okay, this is something that we had a lot of vision here. Something never launched. Okay, so this is old fears, old failures, and now we're feeling it. Up above, position 5, the giant. This is your character, right? This is your driving force. This is your dominant motivation. Personal virtue. This is a card that says all the responsibility is on your shoulders. And I think that we're having that kind of realization now, right? Because the Ten of Wands is a tremendous amount of responsibility, a huge burden. And it may be that we have a burden or an obligation to other people, and maybe that's motivating us. Maybe that Nine of Swords is kind of painful enough for us to say, you know what, no one's going to change my life but me. I've got to do it. So what is empowering you to move ahead? Maybe it's, do you have a partner in your life that is supportive of you? Do you have somebody in your life that is motivating you or trying to motivate you, or is saying, hey, we can do this together, we're in this together, let's go, let's do it, let's make a change, let's strive for something better? Do you feel an obligation towards somebody, family, coworkers, friends, or something where it's like, I don't want to let people down, so I'm going to do this, you know? We could take motivation from many different places, yeah. What strengths are you ready to embrace? And how do you harness your energy to manifest this destiny of yours? Okay. This is level 10 energy. This is like pedal to the metal. Okay, this is kind of like saying, I've lingered so long here, I got to make up for lost time now. You know, when you're running late somewhere and you feel like if you drive a little faster, maybe you'll get there on time instead of late. This is kind of what that card symbolizes. Yeah. But this is also a card of service, love, family, right? This is a card of being willing to put in 110% of energy into something. And I think once we recognize this, then we have to be willing to say, hey, if I put 110% of energy into my dream, it's going to be better than what I have now. There's no way that it can be less. I mean, there's always, obviously, variables. But if you're willing to put in 110% into anything, you're going to get pretty far along that path. We may not get to the very top of the mountain. Maybe we don't even know what is up there. Maybe we don't know how high the mountain goes. Maybe it keeps going up, 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 all the way. But putting in everything you've got, having the discipline, this is Saturn in Sagittarius, right? Having the discipline to focus your energy, harness your energy, and laser point it on one direction. Not the band, but, in one focus, you're going to get somewhere. And so this, I think, is you really coming to that realization thing, you know what? It's now or never. I've wasted enough time. I've lingered around. I've been under the threat of that Nine of Swords for too long. I'm going all in. And I need to have the discipline, right? That's Saturn in Sagittarius. I need to have the discipline to point my arrow in one particular direction and fire. It's all about our attention. The energy that it might take for you now to live the life you're living. If we were to harness all that energy and put it into something, put it into your dream, your ambition, your destiny, your goal, put it into anything. And I think that you're going to skyrocket, Because that Nine of Swords is really a lack of energy. It's saying I don't have any attention. I'm so busy just being anxious or miserable or depressed or whatever. I'm so busy being miserable that I'm not putting my energy into any. The Nine of Swords is basically just survival mode. But if we can rally ourselves and we can put our energy, if we can harness that energy with or without help, I think with help is probably better. Sometimes Sometimes I mistake this card and I call it the Two of Wands because I feel like it's two against the world. And I feel like what that is really trying to say is that we need to team up with the right people. You need to make connections that are going to inspire you. It doesn't have to be a person, but think of, sometimes I'll listen to podcasts or something and I'll get motivated. I'll listen to like these exercise, like fitness podcasts, and I'll be like, yeah, let's go work out. Let's get it. Let's start riding a bike. Let me go find a used bike somewhere at a garage sale. Let me ride. Like, let me do something. You get motivated, get pumped up. So this card isn't necessarily about having a person in your life that's going to motivate you, but finding something that will, whatever it needs to be. Sometimes I get on the scale, I weigh myself, I get motivated, right? Thing is, we have to use these tools for motivation and not to just feel worse about ourselves. Sometimes I get on the scale, I think, oh man, it's hopeless. I'm never going to make it. This is not even worth me trying. And I end up having less motivation, right? But we can get on that scale and we can say, yeah, I'm going to do it. And I want to see that number go down or up, right? Maybe it's the bank account, maybe it's financial, maybe whatever it is for you. Finding out what motivates you and activating that in your life, whether it's a podcast or whether it's a tarot reading, wink, wink, or whatever, right? Whatever it might be. If we have to kind of look at what other people are doing, look at what our friends are doing. And, I've got friends I have one friend that went vegan about 15 years ago, lost a bunch of weight. I admire, and my best friend. And I'm just like, man, like that guy really did it, And I can look at him and I can say, yeah, I said, that's inspiring. That's motivating for me, to try to get something going in my life. So wherever we can take inspiration, wherever we can take motivation right now, we need to do it. Okay, now the next card in your spread is position 6. It's the Imago. This is the next step for you. This is the future event, right? The consequences of your actions, the shape of things to come, and this is a perfect 10, right? This is Mars and Pisces. This is like we are ruthlessly pursuing our dreams now. And we're someone that's driven by a purpose. This is the life that you seek. The ideal life. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I know how it feels. And it certainly doesn't feel like a 9 of Swords, does it? This is the exact opposite. This is not the 9 of Cups, right? But the 10 of Cups. So it's kind of like, it's not just taking that 9 of Swords and making it the opposite, but it's saying I'm above and beyond. Like a perfect 10. The ideal life that we want to live. And then, of course, how do we guide ourselves here? What choices do we need to make? What are your immediate steps in terms of your money, your relationships, your creative passions, the goals that you have? What do you do? What's the next thing you do? What's the immediate plan to start getting toward this? That's what we got to do right now. We got to get fired up. You want the 10 of Cups, you got to get the 10 of Wands. Maximum effort, maximum reward. Okay, we're not getting any younger here. Time's marching on. Now, we're going to talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And if there's anything you would like me to pray over or meditate upon or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Okay. Now, position 7 is your persona. This is the public mask, the social face that you wear and how you present yourself to the world. This is the costume we wear in the greater theater of life, and this is somebody that is consistent. This is somebody that has a sustained energy level, right? And so people see you as somebody that can commit to something and can have the discipline and the fortitude to stick with it for a long time. And that's really good, right? This is how other people see you. And this is the mask that you wear in the greater theater of life, a really committed and motivated kind of person. Yeah. And, maybe we're not really feeling that this is really true. Because again, that 9 of Swords kind of not motivated. But people see you as somebody that like is just, wow, you're on it. You're committed. You got the motivation. Like you show up every day and like you're on. Maybe you're thinking, yeah, I wish that were the case, And so I think like people see us this way. What if we had something in our life that we did feel this motivated for? right? Maybe this is, people see you because you're not giving up, you're not quitting, you're persisting in that Nine of Swords, with that Nine of Swords feeling. Again, the Nine of Swords, we go home at night, we close our eyes, and we're aware of like how unhappy we are. But people see you as somebody that is still showing up every day, still has all this energy and all this activity. Why don't we apply this energy and this sort of activity level to our real goals and our real dreams? Okay? Maybe this is a card for you that when you look at it, you think that this is like your obligation, your commitment to something that doesn't feel good. It's like, I feel like I'm here because I got no choice. I have to be. Right? People don't often see what's inside of this card. They just see somebody that's fired up, showing up every day, putting in a ton of effort. But maybe inside you're saying, yeah, I'm putting in a ton of effort, but it's like, it's tearing me apart. I got to find something that makes sense. I got to find something that makes me feel, better. If we're looking at this with the the Four of Pentacles, then it's in your current situation, putting in maximum effort, but only getting like, maybe, what is it? Like a third, right? A third or a quarter of the rewards. So this is a lot of effort and not a lot of return on that effort. You see? So it may be that we are struggling intensely, burning a lot of fuel, just trying to maintain whatever sort of perceived stability and safety this is. Where if we then transfer that energy to whatever our true destiny and mission in life is, whatever our real sort of deeper goals are, I think we can get, this is like, I'm working all day, I'm getting peanuts. This is now saying, okay, I'm working all day still, and I'm getting satisfied. I feel a deeper sense of purpose. I feel a deeper meaning in what I do. This is kind of empty. This is like, yeah, maybe it pays the rent, but I feel like it's crushing my soul, right? This is now saying like, yeah, I'm putting in, twice the effort maybe, but it's so satisfying. Well, what would you rather have? Maybe we can have both, Maybe we can find something that will give us this kind of satisfaction and we'll still get the bills paid, of course. But as far as the persona goes, people don't see what's going on inside of you. They just see somebody that's working hard. Okay, somebody that's been doing the same thing for a long time. Is this serving your highest truth? Is this commitment? Is this perseverance? This is a lot of perseverance, a lot of tenacity. Is this serving your highest good, or is this serving this sort of, this relative stability? Okay. We may be projecting this image of perseverance and this fiery, motivated energy, but really it's not really that motivated, or it's motivated really just by kind of a fear, right? A fear of losing whatever stability we have. Okay. So you have the ability to persevere. Let's just persevere at something we cherish more, Let's persevere on or in or with our dream. Now the next position is position 8, the shadow. Uncovers hidden influences or things in your environment that may test you or provoke you. Well, this is Gemini. This is the Lovers. This is union. Okay? So it could be that we feel this we feel this pain of division because what we're trying to acknowledge is that we want union. I want to find a life. This is a card that's saying heck yes to something, right? It's a choice. Doesn't mean romance. Put your pitchforks away, though it could. It could be saying that we've been putting in all this effort in a relationship that doesn't feel good. What I really want is this soulmate kind of union. I want to put all this effort, all the best qualities of yourself, right? All your tenacity, all your hard work, all your energy, all your attention, all your focus. I want all these good energies of mine to put in work on something that means something to me. So maybe you're in a relationship right now that, yeah, you're putting in a lot of work, a lot of effort. You're giving it the best parts of yourself, but you still feel that Nine of Swords. So what we're trying to do is transfer all these good qualities that you have and put them into something that does satisfy you, that does feel good, that does feel meaningful and purposeful and rather delightful. Okay? But it doesn't have to be romance. It could be just anything. It could be life in general. It could be a particular relationship or a job or something like that. What we want is to be united with what is meant for us. I don't mind putting in work. You don't mind working hard. You'd rather work hard for something that feels good. This is bliss. We're united with something that gives us this sense of accomplishment, fulfillment, purpose, love, beauty, bliss, miracles, the dream life, satisfaction. Right? You don't mind working hard. I think you're tired of working hard for like the wrong things, the wrong reasons, for the wrong returns. Okay? And so the Lover's card here is just kind of is letting us know, and it's in the position of your relationships, position of your environment. This is what you really want. And it's sort of provoking our shadow. It's provoking this feeling. When we realize, we look out in the world, we realize that I don't have this. I don't have this union. I don't have something in my life that makes me want to say, heck yes, here I am. And I'm going to feel like I'm separated from my true self. Okay. So I think that, your soul is pushing you toward identifying what things you really truly want to have in your life, making some sort of change. Now, position 9 is the specter, shows the fears, worries, concerns, things that might haunt us. It's the Eight of Swords. It's a card of interference. It's the card of overanalysis, overthinking. It's Jupiter in Gemini. Maybe this is a card that says, I've got too many things that I want, right? And it's very interesting. We have all these Gemini references. I would maybe assume that you have a Gemini person in your life somewhere, or there's something specific about Gemini for you, okay? We have Mars in Gemini, right? Something that is separating us from what we want in our life, okay? And then we have, of course, Gemini itself. This is what we want in our life. And then, of course, Jupiter in Gemini is like having then too much. It's too complicated. It's too complex. Maybe it's the overwhelming nature of this. When we think about it too much, it just seems like there's too many moving parts. There's too many things that have to happen. It would be too complicated, too difficult. We overthink it. We overanalyze it, and then we end up saying, nah. We interfere in our own happiness. Yeah. So this is the way your mind, and this is why this is the fear, worry, concern. This is what we don't want to become. We don't want to let our mind talk us into staying here. We've got to find a way to use our mind to motivate us to get here. We don't want to become somebody that is so over-analytical and so self-sabotaging that we end up just living a Nine of Swords life and thinking that's okay. So I don't know what the fears are. I don't know what is stopping you, but it's limiting your potential. If we can face this, if we can recognize how maybe we've talked ourselves out of our own happiness, we can do something about that. And we can change something slowly over the course of time, right? Gradually. Okay. Maybe, here's the next card. It's position 10. It's your destiny. It's an event. This is you going your own way. And when I say it has to happen slowly over the course of time, maybe the initial first step is a big tower moment, a big overnight change like that. But then we know that walking this path is going to take time. Let's say you have that job that is just soul crushing. The first step is getting away from it, right? Then comes the slow and steady, gradual thing of finding what is meant for you and getting closer to it and uniting with it and incorporating it into your life and having that experience, right? Let's say it's a relationship. Well, the first step is getting away from the person. Then comes the slow, steady change and transformation of, building up the good life. So it could Could begin as a tower event. The Hermit here shows the culmination of all this energy. The result of this quest, again, like the battlefield is saying, evolve, change, grow, right? Move on, move forward. Remember something from the past. I think that's a very important part of the Death card too. It's kind of saying there's something from the past that's still lingering there. And yeah, and this is a mountain that's never been climbed. This is a failure to launch. That's something that never got off the ground. And so maybe this is saying, let's get it off the ground. Let's do the work. Let's move our feet. Let's put our plan into action. This is a Virgo energy. It's an earthy energy. It's kind of saying like, yeah, we got to plant the seeds. First thing we got to do is tear up all the old, dry, dead plants that are in the ground, turn the soil around a little bit, and plant the new seeds. Then the slow, steady growth, right? Kind of rip out the old stuff happens quick. Planting the seeds, watering them, letting them grow, that takes time. This is the card of going your own way. This is the card of walking away from something that no longer serves you in search for something that does. Your realized self in the world, you have to follow your light. You're carving out a new path. You're following your own Tao, your own way. And you have to align your actions now with what feels right and true for you. Not being too heavily influenced by what other people are doing or what other people's needs are, unless they're in line with your internal motivations, right? For instance, you have a family that you're taking care of, right? So they have needs, and they're sort of influencing you. They're giving you a reason to do something. Well, that reason pretty much will resonate with your own internal reasons, right? So this is about following the internal reasons to do something. Why do I do the things I do in life? Because I'm being influenced from outside? Something external to me is telling me I should? Or is it coming from inside? This is something that I feel is good, is right for me in my life, in my path. Okay? So this is you following your own inner guide to reach that realm of wholeness, fulfillment, achievement. We're being reborn here. Okay? We're going through a kind of death with the Nine of Swords. We're being reborn into a new life. Okay? And this may be, it's like something interrupted this dream that you're on the launch pad, it was ready to go, you almost took off. Something interfered with that. And so that's like you just put a sheet over it, now it's collecting dust. Now we're ready to kind of finish up whatever we got distracted with and get back to that dream, get back to that launch pad. We can take the sheet off, dust everything off a little bit and see if the engine starts. Okay. Well, let's look at the mystery card. Position 11, it's the guide. Reveals your higher self, inner teacher, deepest wisdom. This is kind of shows the character qualities that we might need to develop in order to walk the path that's ahead of us. So what could this card be? What do we think it might be? What are some qualities you might need to develop in order to get moving? Confidence, maybe a little bit of like, I've had it up to here, enough is enough kind of thing. So I'm thinking maybe another 10. Maybe an ace, maybe it's going to be like a 5 or a 7 or a 9 of wands. Yeah. Well, it could be something more spiritual. It could be a Wheel of Fortune. It could be the Star card, right? Something like this. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see what we have. Oh, it's a 9. It's the 9 of Pentacles. Like I said, the 9s are the cards of actually living the life, right? So this is kind of like the card that says, look, are you going to live? Are you going to put in all this effort, all this level 10 effort, all this Prince of Wands tenacity and perseverance? Are you going to put in all this effort and live a miserable life? Or are you going to live a successful, happy, and fulfilling life? The level of effort is the same. The energy expenditure is the same either way. So it's your choice. And of course, the Lover's card is a choice, right? It's a choice to live life for yourself. being guided by your own inner light, not feeling like we're stuck somewhere or that we're torn apart from what we really wanted to do or who we really wanted to be in our lives. This is the card of success. This is a card of living the good life. Okay? This is as close to perfection as we can get. This is someone who's really living a good life. They're living the happy life. They are experiencing abundance and gain, and things are working out on the physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual creative planes. Okay, so the nines are all about these, they're odd numbers. It's all about the function. How are we functioning in our lives? Well, this is really great functioning. This is happy, successful. Things are going great. I'm happy with my life. It's work. It's every day. I'm up and I'm at it, and it's good. Of course, that Nine of Swords is saying, I'm up and at it every day, and it's terrible. Okay? I think this is very nice. And I think what we have to do, like the quality we have to develop in order to walk the path forward, is to believe that things are going to get better. To believe that if I put in effort in different places, my life will get better. Now, please let the lessons of these 11 stations settle into your heart. Each card is a mirror. Each station is a temple of transformation, alternating between who you're becoming and the events that are shaping your life and the world you're creating. Remember, the tarot does not dictate your future. It reveals the pattern of possibility. It invites you to co-create your destiny. Right? This destiny, not being somehow content with this destiny. So if this reading has illuminated your path in any way, please share your reflections down below. Together, we journey onward, ever upward and ever inward. And we're going to do an extended reading as well. We'll do an I Ching hexagram. We'll do some oracle cards. There is a link in the corner. There's a link down below in the video description. New readings for Aquarius on Thursdays and Sundays. Be sure to watch both readings. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Leave a comment and let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you. And we're all in this together.